Hey guys, we just wanted to give you a little bit of a primer on the type of county we're looking at. I know that I hope that a lot of the listeners are not going to be coming from Warren County because Warren County has about 39,000 people in it. We would love for Damien's story to spread across the country, but we also want to take care of those of you who are not coming from Warren County who aren't going to recognize the places that we're talking about. I've spent the last almost 15 months driving this county in all kinds of weather, as you can see. But we wanted to talk about some of the theories regarding what might have happened to Damien. So if you don't have a basic understanding of the story, Damien Sharp went missing from Warren County, Pennsylvania, from the city of Warren, Pennsylvania, on Saturday, May 25th, 2002. There are three general genres of rumor about what might have happened to Damien in the 20 years since then, as his case has never been solved, and there's been a lot of confusion, a lot of lack of really credible, hardcore information that anyone can find. What you're seeing on your screen right now is pictures of Sugar Grove Swamp in Chandler's Valley. One of the genres of rumors when it comes to what might have happened to Damien is that someone killed him and put him in a swamp. Other people talk about him having been killed and put somewhere in the A&F. Still others say, no, he's still in the city somewhere. General consensus is that Damien has met an untimely end, likely right there in the days following his disappearance. I wanted to go out and just get some pictures of the area. You can see this is about the middle of March when I took these pictures in Chandler's Valley, but I wanted you to get a sense for what the area looks like, and I also wanted to go to another separate area because when people talk about the ANF, the Allegheny National Forest, for those of you who aren't from Warren County, this is what the ANF looks like. That you're seeing is the Kinzua Dam. It's a picture taken from the Jake's Rocks overlook. Jake's Rocks was one of Damien's favorite places, and I was up there around the beginning of April, shortly after I visited Chandler's Valley Swamp. Weather right now is inconsistent. It is unseasonably cold, I would say. We're getting a lot of snow, but you can see that Jake's Rocks is an overlook area. Maybe I'll post some maps on the blog, but you can see the signage there. It's a one-way loop that you can drive through. There are facilities here now. They're a little bit better than they used to be for the mountain bike riders who are coming up. The mountain bike trails, the trails at Jake's Rocks started being built in this area. I know they were being built in 2018. I know they were being discussed and the environmental studies were being done in 2010 for them. I'm not sure what the course of that development was, but just down from the Jake's Rocks area, you have this area called Devil's Elbow, and this is off of Route 59. You see there's a run, and this waterfall that you're seeing will run straight up to the Jake's Rocks overlook area that you saw pictures of before. Jake's Rocks is a lot more traveled, a lot more used. There have been plans in the past to develop this Devil's Elbow area, but it's another big area when it comes to rumors about what might have happened to Damien. You can see there's been a lot of trail building. This area encompasses those Jake's Rocks trails, but this is an area where people fish, where people swim. There's occasionally a rope hanging from the bridge. I'm not sure that's entirely legal, so not official, and I'm definitely not telling you to go up there and do it, but you can see the difference in these types of areas. Warren County is in the Allegheny Plateau. I believe we're in the high Allegheny Plateau. We have a lot of mountain laurel. We have ash, birch, hemlock, pine trees. We have white pine. We have oak. We have maple. It's a hardwood deciduous forest. As you can see, these pictures that I took here at Devil's Elbow, this was in the second week, maybe the third week of April. Lots of leaf litter, not a lot of canopy down here towards the reservoir, but if you look out that water, if you were to stand there at Devil's Elbow, right across from where I'm taking these pictures would have been the town of Kinzua. This elbow that you're seeing, the trail, it kind of wraps around with the bridge crossing in front of it from east to west, from Warren to, you'd be headed towards Bradford. This is the entrance. You would come in here, swing around a deep, deep curve. It was a really treacherous road for people to be traveling. I think in October of 1964 is when they shut this down as a road. This is sort of towards the center, if you think of it as a U. This is towards that center, that middle part. Looking out across 59, that water out there beyond the bridge is all where the town of Kinzua would have been prior to the flooding of the dam, and this road would have just looped around behind. These are areas in the ANF that people don't use a lot. Jake's Rocks is more traveled, and I think that Devil's Elbow gets a lot more visitors now because of those trails. But as you can see, this is just an area where it's desolate, it's isolated. There are reasons for people to say, I think, that Damien would have been taken to Devil's Elbow, especially given his reputation and his interests. He was interested in shocking people and in the black clothes, the bondage pants, the Hot Topic attire of the day. So one of the things that happened this week that kind of slowed me down in making this video, which I promised a long time before now, is that my car died. This is the picture of its final moments as I parked it on the side of the road where I now live, a county away from Warren, and waited for a tow truck to come get me. I'm working on getting a used car, another little mud buggy. This one has served me well, but it's not going to get me to all of the places that I need to get, which are, 60 to 70 miles from my home to start with. This is another one of those places. So yesterday, April 19th, I went ahead and visited the Akeley Swamp. Akeley is another swamp that people cite in their swamp rumors regarding Damien's final resting place, I guess. But these are pictures from there. It started snowing this weekend, which is total bullshit, and I hate it. However, it led to some pretty cool photos. So this swamp is in the eastern portion of the county, northeastern. This is, again, right up on the New York border, kind of like Tamarack. The difference in geology is interesting. You can see I was very excited about the snow. The geology is different here because when glaciers came through here during the end of the last ice age, as they melted, they stuck to the northwestern portion of the state and the southeastern portion of the state. The middle portion of the state got different. They didn't get a lot of glaciers. And so Jake's Rocks is a recreation area built around the giant boulders that were deposited as that last glacier came through and eventually melted. In other portions of the state, there's not a lot of glaciation. Either way, the bogs and the swamps are pretty much all the same. I spoke to Jen Moore. She's an environmental educator for the DCNR. I spoke with her today, April 20th, and she said that basically whether you're in Akeley or whether you're up in Bear Lake visiting Tamarack Swamp, you are going to find a lot of mud. As you draw down those, so what they are is basically a kettle bog, they call them. As glaciers melted, they deposited a bunch of crap, and as the streams that flowed into those melting puddles of glacier were stopped and rerouted, these bogs sprang up. So basically, over the course of time, you've got a lake, which becomes a wetland. Vegetation starts to flourish towards the outskirts, the shoreline edges of these kettle bogs or lakes, and eventually it just moves in over the course of time. A lot of them, like Tamarack Lake up in Bear Lake, Jen was saying, is 500 some acres, and it has a very shallow middle. A lot of them, it depends on what the ownership is. Akeley, this particular swamp, is Game Commission owned and maintained. Tamarack, on the other hand, I believe is state owned with Game Commission maintenance. So what you could or could not do there just depends. But I spent the day just rolling around these places. It's really hard to hear people tell me stories about a swamp or a bog, especially one that I haven't visited. I'm not like I don't do the swamp / bog circuit around the county a lot, so I wasn't too familiar with just, if someone's going to tell me someone took Damien out and put him in the middle of Tamarack Swamp, well, physically, what does that place look like? What kinds of vehicles am I going to need? What kind of tools am I going to need to get out there? And I realized as I was kind of investigating this that if I need to see these places, so do you guys as listeners. So I just did another round of the county. I wanted to get you Devil's Elbow there, Jake's Rocks. Now, Jake's Rocks was a super favorite place of Damien's. And I'll talk more about that in the podcast, and I'll get you guys maybe a better video of up there in the coming weeks. But everything's kind of brown and ugly right now, but we wanted to have some reference up, and we also just wanted to kind of get people excited to start thinking about what stories, what rumors have you heard, and have you actually stopped and visited those places if you have followed this case, which I find that a lot of you have. And then I had to show this. We ended our day with ducks. I'm pretty obsessed with ducks. We've had chickens, ducks, turkeys, all kinds of poultry of all sorts at my house in the past, but the ducks were always my favorite. So podcast is going to launch May 25th. That's a Wednesday. We'll launch with the first 3 episodes. We're going to tell you a little bit of the story, a little bit about Damien and how the investigation started at that point. And then we will move forward through the next 7 episodes for a total of 10 one-hour episodes, breaking this case down to a cellular level. I've got 23, maybe an average of 12 to 15-inch column-inch stories from the local newspaper over the course of 20 years, which is fine. That's representative of traditional daily print journalism. We're going to expand that so hard for you guys. We're going to blow your minds. There's so much more to this story, and you should just enjoy these ducks while we say our goodbyes. We're looking forward to May 25th. Keep posted, guys.